Morning children, I am Malobhi Day. I am your English teacher. By now you all must have known that your book has changed and this is your new Gulmohar book. Today I am going to teach the first chapter of this Gulmohar book. Now children, your first chapter is Meeting Suzanne. It is written by Sir Michael Morpurgo. About the author, Sir Michael Morpurgo is an English author, poet and playwright. He is best known for his novels and stories for children, many of which have been made into films. Between the year 2003 and 2005, he was named Children's Laureate of the United Kingdom. He has won several awards for his work. This was about Sir Michael Morpurgo. Now, before starting the chapter, children, I want to give a brief introduction about this chapter. This chapter is about a young boy named Yannick who goes and spends his summer with his uncle's family and also helped his uncle run the village inn. This story is touching because the speaker is the child protagonist narrating from his point of view. The title is justified because it preserves the suspense that is built around the artist. And the theme is that a person is great because of what he is as a person and not because of the name he has made for himself. Now children, we will start with the chapter. Flipping through his mother's book, a young boy named Yannick admires the beauty of the countryside of Provence. Provence is a region in southeastern France famous for its scenery, as painted by the master painter Cézanne. Cézanne was a French painter who was a great influence on many artists of 20th century. Now one summer, he gets the chance to go and spend time with his uncle's family who lived there. Yannick soon begins to enjoy his stay, occasionally helping his uncle run the village inn. One day, there is a bustle at the inn. Bustle means a noisy excitement activity or movement. For a famous man, the inn's best customer comes visiting. Who is this man and why is there such a fuss about his visit? Now children, fuss, what do you mean by fuss? Fuss means to be worried or excited about small things. Okay, now that evening, my cousin Amandine told me I had to do everything properly because their best customer was coming to dine with some friends. He lived in a chateau in the village. She said, and he was very famous. When I asked what he was famous for, she didn't reply. Questions, always questions, she tutted. Tuttons means a sound of expressing annoyance. Go and fetch the logs. Whoever he was, he looked like an ordinary man without much hair, but I felt very pleased when the famous man ate one of my creme brulee. After the man and his guest left, we began to clear the table. I pulled the paper cloth off, scrunched it and threw it into the fire as usual. Children, scrunched means to crush or squeeze something into a compact mass. Suddenly, Amandine went rushing past me. For some reason, she grabbed the tongs and tried to pull out the remnants of the burning paper tablecloth. But it was already too late. Then she turned to me. Now children, remnants means a piece of something that is left after the rest has gone. You fool, she shouted. You little fool. What? I said. That man who just left does a drawing on the tablecloth as a tip for Papa if he likes his meal. You went and threw it in the fire? He is the most famous painter in the world, idiot. She was in tears now. Everyone in the restaurant stopped eating and went silent. Then Uncle Bruno came striding towards us. Unlike his jolly self, what is it? He asked Amandine. Children, striding means to walk with long steps. It was Yannick, Papa, she cried. He threw it into the fire, the tablecloth, the drawing. Did you tell him about it, Amandine? Uncle Bruno asked. Did Yannick know that he sketches something on the tablecloth and leaves it behind for us? Amandine looked at me, her cheeks wet with tears. I thought she was going to lie, but she didn't. No, Papa, she said, lowering her head. Then you shouldn't blame him, should you? For something that was your fault? Say sorry to Yannick now. She mumbled it, but didn't raise her eyes. Children, mumble means to speak quietly without opening your mouth properly. Uncle Bruno put his arm around me. Never mind, Yannick, he said. He said he particularly liked his creme brulee. You made it, didn't you? So the drawing was for you. Really. Always look on the bright side. For a moment, you held a drawing that was made for you by the greatest painter in the world. That's something you will never forget. Later on, as I came out of the bathroom, I heard Amandine crying in her room. I hated to hear her cry. So I knocked on the door and went in. I am sorry, I said. I didn't mean to upset you. She said she had stopped crying by now. It wasn't your fault, Yannick, she said, still sniffing a bit. It's just that I hate it when Papa's cross with me. Cross means angry here. When Papa's cross with me, he hardly ever is. Only when I have done something really bad. I shouldn't have blamed you. I am sorry. Then she smiled at me. I lay awake all night, my mind racing. Somehow I was going to make it all right again and make Amandine happy. Soon I had worked out exactly what and how to do it, even what I was going to say when the time came. Next morning, I didn't go for my walk in the hills, but made my way down through the village towards the chateau. I waited till there was no one about. I climbed the gates easily enough and then ran down through the trees. There, surrounded by the vast and threatening forest on all sides, was the old man with very little hair who had come to the inn. He was sitting alone on the steps in the sunshine and sketching. I approached as silently as I could, but somehow I must have disturbed him. He looked up, shading his eyes against the sun. "Hello, young man," he said. Now that I was this close to him, I could see he was indeed very old, but his eyes were young, bright, and searching. "Are you Monsieur Cézanne, the famous painter?" I asked. He seemed a little puzzled. So I went on. "My mother says you are the greatest painter in the world." He smiled and then laughed. "I think your mother's probably right," he said. "You clearly have a wise mother, but why did she let a young lad like you come wandering here on his own?" "I thought your name was Cézanne," I said. He smiled up at me. "How I wish it was," he said sadly. Then he added, "Off you go now." Now children, we have finished the chapter. Now there are some learning outcomes from this chapter that I will share with you. First one is, we should appreciate the innocence of the child speaker. Second, examine the goodness in each of the characters. Third, we can identify the artist as a great man. Fourth, and the last is, also we can note the talent of a great artist. Now children, in our next class, we will complete our exercises. Okay, and there are some words and meanings written in the book as well. You can see on them on the left side of your pages. You have to learn all these words and their meanings. Okay children, this will be your assignment.